Yeah, sorry guys. There's something wrong with the streaming. Let's just start. I will probably upload the recorded version of the meeting, but maybe we can just start. So how is everything, guys? And this is the first meeting since the holiday. I guess I hope you guys all enjoy the holiday. And as I said, we have to keep up the schedule. And I said I said we need to upload all the solutions by the end of this month. But I'm not sure. I think not everyone has sent me the data yet. But I guess most of you looks promising, at least. So should we? Since not everyone sent me the update by email, so should we start with the updates from everyone? I will ask you guys. You can turn on your microphone and speak. So for Chunshui, I guess your updates was, I don't remember if you sent me an email or not, but can you quickly just summarize what's the status now?
Yes. Yes, I sent you the Eagle results I think 2 months ago, and as we discussed, that's nearly the finalized data.
Yeah.
So if I don't know if you see something more to improve, then we can discuss more. Otherwise,
Sure.
it will be finalized.
Sounds good. So I think in your data, you also have something to do with the MZ29. Is that right?
Yes.
It's for doubling or cancel point.
It's for doubling because it shows some negative values for many peers, 30% or something. But then, so we remove that because it's mostly negative. So for peers with a very low concentration. So
I see. Okay. Yeah. I think I asked this question in last week during the MS user meeting to the Paradigm people. They were also saying if the downweighting doesn't work for that, doesn't improve. If downweighting 29 doesn't improve your result, then it's better to blacklist it. So that's what I've asked about the 29. I think this signal also, many stations have this problem, like in London, also in Lund University, they also have this problem. So I think the message will be before you run the campaign, it's better to do this to correct your the 29 to 43. You can do the scatter plot and see how it changed. You need to correct it based on where you measured your data set, because the isotope of nitrogen could be varied in different places. Okay, so I think if Axel is here, I think this is also a very good message for you. You can just blacklist the 29 and run the PMF again if you have some time. And so let's move on to the next. I think Jenny, I think you had the problem about 44 and 43.
Yes.
Would you like to share your screen to show it out again? Because I think we have some discussion over the email.
With Francesco, yes.
Yeah, but maybe I think Andre is here today, and
sure.
better
I can. Yeah, I can try to share my screen.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay. You can see my screen now?
Yes.
It's okay. Okay. So we had some problems regarding 44 and 43 plots, because when we had primary and secondary together as subtracted from the model, we have nice graphs, but when we try to subtract only the secondary, we have quite noisy and strange values of F44. They were above 0.4. And the last time when we talked, Andre and you asked me to manually calculate again all these stuffs. And actually I did it. First time I calculated without taking the window and the propagation like in Sophie. It was like a normal calculation, and it wasn't the case like this. This was the graph. And then after several discussion with Francesco, I took the equation that are really used in the Sophie, and I have the same figure. So in the upper panel, you can see the info from the input, and then manually calculated by me, extracting only SOA or primary and secondary. So the conclusion from Francesco was that BBOA, the percentage in our data, it's high, and this is why we have noisy signal remaining when we extracted only the secondary.
Okay, I still have question.
Yeah, sure, Andre.
I still don't believe it. I mean, when you calculated F44,
yes.
I mean, do you include the masses 18 and 28 and so on? Or
I excluded when I.
Oh, but you should include it when you then calculate the F44.
Yes, at the end, yes, of course.
Yeah, but this cannot be the end, because I still don't understand how you can get a value of higher than 0.5. It's not possible. Because the assumed 28 and 18 together is at least as high as the fraction of 44, right? So you cannot have.
Yeah, but actually, I don't understand why during the summer time we don't have this case. It's a nice graph. Let's see. I think I have here. Yeah. Okay. So we have here for the entire year, and this is how it looks, the 44, 43. And then for the other seasons, except the summer, when it's okay, even if we have only the secondary subtracted from the model. So I think the calculations are okay. I don't understand what happened at the end.
So when you do the manual calculation, when you divided the total signal, you thus included 16, 17, 18, right?
Yes.
Okay.
28. But
And
not
28, the ASSN doesn't have 28, I think.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, but 18 is as high as 44, right?
Yeah, 16, 17, 18, those are all assigned.
So how can you have 0.6 if 18 is the same as 44? I mean, that's just mathematically impossible.
Does it means you have something negative,
Yeah.
variable negative?
Wait, there should be also other fragments, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
no, it's just not. I believe it's just not possible. I mean, so take a point manually that where it's above 0.5. It's just not possible. I mean, I don't know how that's possible.
I checked some points that have quite high value for F44 and they correspond to some concentration that are really low in the organics at the beginning, but this is like 0.3 micrograms,
Yeah, sure,
something like
but
this.
still, if 18 and 44 is the same, you cannot get above 0.5. That's how is that possible? Unless you would have strong negative values as Ian says, but that shouldn't be. So I would like to see an example where it is calculated manually, where a value is higher than 0.5, and then you. Otherwise, I just don't believe it.
Okay.
So what you can do is just look into those data by its date and time and check out is there any negative values for your variables, the sum of the variables, like strong negative. Then if sorry.
I didn't get it. Sorry, Jan.
So basically, just check out those points has high 44, like 0.5, 0.6, for example, in a subtracted plot. Then you go to find the date and time for those points and to look at also other variables. Are there any strong negative values for those time periods, for example?
Okay. No, I don't believe it.
Yeah, basically you need to look into the details of those points with high F44 in the plot.
You remember that this was our first step, I don't know, 2 months ago, when we look at this data and then to the concentration of organics in these points, and then try to calculate it. And
yeah, I don't remember if we check each points individually.
No, it was several points, not each point.
Yeah, I mean for some of the points that has high.
But Ian, can you also have a look? I mean.
Yeah, I will.
I mean.
Yeah. I shared the experiment with Jan and Francesco.
Yeah, I will look into it.
As long as I don't hear I mean, it's just mathematically so impossible. As long as I don't hear anything, I mean, I really, no, I don't believe this plot.
Oh, I will check it again. Let's talk afterwards, Jenny.
Sure.
Thank you for sharing this though.
Me too.
So, I hope this is not a problem for everyone. If you have similar problem, you can speak up, and we can also figure this out. Okay, let's move to the next. Thing. Hans, are you here? Would you mind to share some updates with me, please? I haven't been in contact with you for a while. I guess will be good. You can share something with me. No. Oh, Hans, I think you are here, but
Can you hear me now?
yes, good.
Okay. I think I sent you the results in December, and I haven't improved anything since then.
Okay.
So, in my opinion, we can call the results as finalized.
Okay. Good. I will check that.
Okay.
Thank you. And I think Laila, how about you? Would you mind to share the progress with me, please? We can't hear you. No. We can still not hear you. Is that just me, or does anyone hear her properly?
I'm not hearing anything.
Yeah, Laila, could you try to leave and return again?
Yeah.
Okay, now we can hear you.
Ah, okay, now you can hear me. Good.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I don't know, it sometimes doesn't work. Yeah, for the updates, well, I sent you the experiment, I think, beginning of January, and there was still the issue with the summer BBOA, which is higher than HOA. And before that, I did, after the workshop of December, the test with changing the weight, I mean the S2N based weight, and it didn't change anything. So I don't really know what else to do, because the seasonal didn't show this high BBOA in summer, but somehow the rolling results do. And yeah, I don't know if some other groups see this also a difference between seasonal and rolling results, especially on the BBOA.
So what BBOA profile you constrain again?
With Kripa.
Okay. Yeah, I think. Have you tried the different BBOA?
Profile, you mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I did it before with Youngjohn's profile, but I was not using exactly the same protocol as I'm using now, because in between we changed a bit. And
do you remember Yunjian's BBOA profile is the 43 larger than 44, or it's like a Kripa? The 44 is higher than 43. Sorry, we cannot. We're losing you again.
Sorry?
Can you speak up a bit?
Yeah, I don't know, but I'm looking for it right now. Okay, 44 is higher than 43, yes.
Also in Yunjian's profile.
Yes.
Yeah. So I will try some new profiles like NG's BBOA. But for example, you try it first in the summer to see if you get something interesting. Then if it, to see if it changed during the summer, because you know when the 44 is higher than 43 in the BBOA, especially in the summer, it could you know apportion quite a bit to mass to the BBOA factor, but it's not the reality. Like let's say in the summer it might be different. The BBOA factor profile might look different. So I guess it could be if you change the profile, it might solve the problem.
Okay, I might try then.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's gonna work though, but like I think it's worthwhile to try to use different BBOA, but yeah, hopefully Olivia is happy about that.
Yeah, we talked about it in a meeting
Yeah.
with Olivier, Jean-Eudes, and I mean in my whole like thesis meeting, and yeah, and
Okay.
they said that it was probably not worth to try with NG's profile, but yeah, it was also, we also said that there was a problem of F44. So.
Yeah, but maybe just do some quick runs to check it out if does it work or not, and then we can have a meeting afterwards about this.
Yeah, if it's so just quickly, I mean, if it's not redoing everything, then yeah.
Yeah, just quickly check it out. Does it work or not? Then we can see if that's a option. That's an option.
Because in his, I mean, in NG's profile, it's for F44 is not that high.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so just keep me posted about this issue, and if you have any progress, we can talk, you know, privately, and then hopefully we can solve this problem.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay.
So let me just quickly look. Mina, I don't remember what's the progress of yours?
I think I'm ready. I think I have set all the files to you.
Okay, good. Sent already. All right. Yeah, okay, so I think I already got a few ones. So do you guys have any questions want to discuss particularly? Do you have any questions you wish me to mention during this meeting? Or Marta.
Hi.
Hi, so I think because Andre is here, so maybe we can take the opportunity to show the results between the seasonal and rolling. Maybe you can share a bit.
Okay, just a minute.
Yeah, thanks. So I think Marta took the test about doing a comparison between rolling and seasonal after the discussion we had in last workshop, and she has done some tests on her own data in Barcelona. So let's just take a look.
It's not definitive, but I can show you a few graphs. I have been comparing both data sets, and R-square and t-value as well give similar results. As you can see, there's no much difference. Can you see my cursor? Or
Yes.
Yeah, okay. There's not a clear winner by seeing this. If we take a look seasonally, there is either a very huge difference between all of them. These are t-values.
Can you, so the t value you mentioned was it's also an R square just normalized by the size of the data, right?
Yes.
Okay.
What else? Okay, and if we take a look by considering the comparisons along the year, let's say in the other way around, there's not a clear winner either. Sorry, here I have to mention that the first bar corresponds to the rolling results and the second one to the seasonal. And depending on which variables do you compare, results are different. Or for example, for the COA versus 55, seasonal seems to adapt better, but when comparing with BBOA and 60, rolling is better than the seasonal. I can't explain this so far because I'm not sure of what does it mean.
So just a question, when you normalize by the data, the size of the data, so for example, in a seasonal, how did you define the size of the data?
I counted all the coinciding, let's say if the MZ55 has some gaps and the COA has some gaps, I counted all those timestamps which have both time series. I removed the gaps of both time series, let's say.
Yeah, I need to think about how the way we normalized it. Yeah, because that could change quite a bit the result. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what one could imagine, or what I would imagine, is that, I mean, the results for most of the year will be similar. I mean, which is not bad, I would say. I mean, I think the rolling has the advantage. I mean, if you think about if you have several years of data, then you can just roll it and you don't have to do each seasonal analysis separate. So it also has that advantage. But if I would expect a difference, that it's mostly maybe during the time when you change season. Yeah. So for example, then I don't know. I mean, for example, I guess spring starts in March or whatever, or depends maybe on the site. Yeah. Well, when your seasonal starts, but I mean, but there's obviously a break from between seasons, and the rolling should probably cope with that better. I mean, at least when there's the same number of factors. So it might be interesting to look, for example, in that month, that one that is kind of at the overlap between the seasons. So I could imagine that maybe the results should be better for the rolling in kind of that 1 month. I mean, that goes, I mean, that at the edge of each season. But I don't know. I think if one wants to really look at this detail, then I would look there to see if there's any discrepancy.
Here in this graph, I show the differences between rolling and seasonal by subtracting the seasonal solution from the rolling solution for all the factors. And we see some kind of difference between, as you said, as the season change for the seasonal and the rolling do not have this burst, this sharp edge.
Right. So if you would look now with external correlations or so, if you would take, for example, now from mid-May to mid-June or whatever, then check if the rolling or the seasonal is better. That might be interesting. I mean, there I would expect the rolling should be better, but maybe I'm wrong, but at least it's surely more consistent. There it should be more consistent. Yeah. These are interesting graphs. I mean, that shows already a little bit, obviously some disadvantage with the seasonal. There will be breaks. I mean, in when you change the season. But if you want to quantify the difference, I would maybe look there a little more specific.
Also another way to think about it is like, for example, if you run the winter data only, you might, for the seasonal, I mean, so you might end up only one OOA sometimes, but if you run the rolling, so because you have some actual information during the transition of the seasons, so you still might end up a good separation for your OOAs, because you don't lose too much information on the edges. So that could be also an advantage. This one need to be more confirmed by Samira if you have more tests about it. So I guess I don't know how to quantify it, but maybe we can still mention it somehow qualitatively. Okay, so I guess that's all. And if you have any question, you can still email me again. And just just remind you guys again, please fill in the doodle. Then I can announce the exact date for our next workshop. For the people who haven't sent me the data yet, I mean, of course we set the deadline for at the end of this month, but please keep in touch with me if you cannot make it. Then we should schedule some regular meeting to facilitate everything. Then hopefully we can manage to get most of the data at least before the next workshop. It's most likely will be the end of February, and the one next after that one will be probably the end of March. But we still need more inputs from more people for the doodle, and yeah, then I guess we can still manage to beat the deadline. Yeah, so thank you very much. And if you have any question, just tell me. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
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 Thank you.